Hi, my name is Angel Latorre and I am a fine artist. If you have been following along since the beginning of our series learning how to paint a landscape, I first showed you how to sketch. I then rendered the sketch into watercolors. I then applied the sketch onto the canvas. I then began painting with oils, elaborating on the foreground, then the background, then concentrating on shadows and light. This week we are going to bring even more light onto our canvas and begin to paint our floral details. So let's get ready to paint. Welcome back everyone and thank you for coming. As you can see, we are almost finishing our painting. We started with our background and then our foreground. And as you can see, the foreground is darker than the background. Today we are going to be emphasizing on the floral designing of the painting. So we're going to trade up the greens with some really pretty colors today. And I'm going to show you the colors. We're going to have violet. We're going to have rose madder, cobalt blue, some white, and some yellow. I took these paints and I added them to my palette, as you can see them. And we're going to start with a nice round brush number 2. We're going to dip it into our Japan dryer. We're going to pick up some of the white and add it to the violet to make it a little lighter. We're going to start at the distance. And as we start, we're just going to be dabbing. Now, when you do this, try not to bunch them up. Because in real life, in nature itself, the flowers usually have space between them. They're not all bunched up. Clean the brush up. Now I'm going to use a little of the rose madder with the white. Give me that nice little pinkish look. Now the more paint you add to the white, of course the darker it's going to get, and the more white you add to it, the lighter it's going to get. As you can see there, it's looking like flowers. And you see how the less white I put on it, the darker the rose madder is going to look. It's going to give it that brilliant look that nature intended. Okay, so now let me clean the brush again, and we're going to go into the blue to show you the effect what the blue has. So we're going to take the blue, mix it with the white. It's going to give you a nice little light blue. So we're continuing with our background as the objects appear to be smaller in the background. Remember that? That's the whole point of a painting. You have that atmosphere of distance, atmosphere. Now we're going to add more to the foreground. So I'm going to pick up some more madder, red. Now when you mix colors, it's amazing because you can actually mix the rose with the blue, and it's going to give you another hue of purple. And this you can utilize to your own advantage because you're almost like a chemist. So here's the foreground, and in the foreground, remember what we said, every object looks a little bigger. We're just dabbing the brush along. We want the flowers not to be bunched up, but we want them to have a sense that they have their own space, their own little world that God gave them. We're allowing some of that green to show through, not covering all the green with it. And when you do come to places where the black, right here, where the black is at, and you put the color on it, see how bright that comes out? That gives it a sense as though it's floating in there. Okay. Let me go back over here to the arch. The arch is a little far away. We're adding more floral to the arch. I love to experiment with colors, and that's what every artist should be doing. And as a lover of art, I think that's the main thing that we do have to express ourselves in, is in color. You can see it all around you in nature, how God intended it. Get some more blue. This time I'm going to go with a little darker hue of blue. Thin it out with the Japan dryer. You can mix the flowers with the other colors. Now you're sensing that it's not just a doll painting with greens on it, but it's jumping out with colors, because you can tell that these are flowers that are coming into existence right before your eyes. Okay, now, for the purpose of the video, I'm going to take another brush. It's a pointy brush. It's called number 1. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Japan dryer again, come over here to a little bit of the purple, and I'm just going to go over the arbor just a little bit more. I'm not doing the whole arbor. I'm just doing the top of it, the dome part, to make it stick out more. You don't have to be thick with the paint to do this. You just have to be more gentle with it. Make it look like pastel colors. And as you overlap the other colors that were already there, you can get that already sense of shading already, as you can see it. Okay. Now, for the last thing we're going to do to the painting, I'm going to take the round brush again, and we're going to create a little bit of sunlight. Okay, and to do that, we're going to take the white and the yellow. This will give you the appearance of sunlight hitting grass. And sunlight is, when you look at it, is always dancing. It doesn't have a permanent home. It just comes and it goes. So be spontaneous with it. But don't overwhelm the painting with it. But just give it that sense that there is light there. I'm going to add just a little bit more light to our arbor. See how that comes out, the edges? You can tell the sunlight is coming from the left-hand side as we depicted in our last video. The yellow and the white will always be glowing. And that's going to be it for today, everyone. And God bless you. And hope you join me next time as we continue to elaborate just a little bit more on our painting. God bless.